We are getting so close to 40,000 subscribers. I I am speechless. Every time I think like, okay, we're settling down, no, it just keeps growing, and I'm forever grateful. But I'm like, oh my god. Um, but today we're reacting to something completely different. We are reacting to Columbus, the best tornado footage ever shot. I have never seen a tornado, and I try to avoid tornado videos as well because they make me very sad for all the people that lose their houses and their belongings. But this is something that happens a lot apparently in America. I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't live there, but I've heard a lot of people say that they have like tornado bunkers and stuff. We don't have that here like at all. Um like this the I mean, I guess I've seen like they're not called tornadoes though, but the little swirl pools. But like nothing major. So let's see what a tornado actually looks like.
It's June 23rd, 1998, and Columbus, Nebraska farmer Andy Ulmer has just arrived home when he sees this out of his window. Andy quickly got his video camera and began to record the monster as it was coming directly towards his house. Over the course of the next few minutes, he would provide the world with some of the best tornado footage ever shot. It's late June of 1998 and the tornado season is well underway, and it's been a historic one. An extremely active first half of the year has left the US on its heels. A few anomalous events.
They come in seasons, like you have tornado seasons, like rain seasons. And did you see how well this is like most of my viewers are American, so this is probably like common sense to you, but it was a wide area it's taking up too. That's crazy.
Extremely active first half of the year has left the US on its heels. A few anomalous events have happened so far, including Florida's deadliest tornado outbreak in history in February, an unseasonably strong tornado outbreak in Minnesota in March, a couple of F5 tornadoes in Alabama and Tennessee in April, and the only ever high-risk severe weather event issued for the Northeast in May. This active trend would continue into June, which brings us to June 23rd, 1998. Throughout the day, a moderately strong trough had swept across portions of the central US, situating itself over Nebraska. Across the state, temperatures rose into the low and mid-80s. Dew points also rose to nearly 75 degrees, signifying extremely humid air. This warm air mass allowed for a pocket of CAPE with values approaching 4,500 to enter the area. This CAPE, or convective available potential energy, aka fuel for thunderstorms, would significantly aid in what would happen later in the day. As we travel 20,000 feet up from the ground, we find moderately strong 40 to 50 knot winds out of the southwest. However, when we travel back down to just a few thousand feet off the ground, we find what was the real secret sauce to this event. What were measly winds throughout most of the day quickly and suddenly got sent into overdrive mode by what's known as the low-level jet. The low-level jet is a near daily occurrence during the spring and summer, when the low-level winds in the atmosphere significantly increase around and after sunset. This is typically caused when the upper levels of the atmosphere cool as the day goes on, which causes a pressure gradient between the cool upper atmosphere and the warm lower atmosphere. This pressure gradient then results.
This is super interesting, but these are all like terms I've never even heard before. Like, to me, before this, the wind was the wind. But it's also interesting to see how tornadoes were or come to be.
Cool upper atmosphere and the warm lower atmosphere. This pressure gradient then results in strong winds flowing from the cool air to the warm air. This low-level jet does a couple of things that significantly benefits tornadoes. The first is that the sharp increase in low-level winds significantly increases the amount of shear or spin, which is obviously critical to tornadoes. The other is that the low-level jet can pull much more favorable environmental conditions for tornadoes northwards with it as the evening goes on. The low-level jet would prove quintessential on June 23, 1998, as it brought in with it more explosive environmental conditions in from the south and also evolved what was just average wind shear throughout most of the day into very strong wind shear by the evening. As the day progressed, a dry line developed and spanned a majority of the Central Plains and would serve as the focal point for thunderstorm development. As the environment cooked throughout the afternoon, explosive storm initiation finally occurred just after 6 p.m. local time, and storms moved northeast. As the thunderstorms continued to develop in eastern Nebraska, 3 separate residents who were in the path would unknowingly be some of the only people to document what was about to happen.
Do they not, or was this something that was unexpected? Do they not evacuate usually, or do you but people have bunkers. Do you guys get evacuated if there is a tornado warning, or do you have to go to a bunker, or how does that work?
The main storm of interest developed just barely to the southwest of the city of Columbus, Nebraska, and slowly moved towards town. Just before entering town, the storm put down its first tornado. The tornado, which touched down just to the north of Duncan, was a relatively weak F1 that remained on the ground for just a couple of miles. After lifting, the city of Columbus looked to be staring straight down the barrel of another tornado, with the supercell reorganizing and heading towards town. All residents could do, though, was just hold their breath and hope. Luckily, though, and even though the storm was spinning like a top, it passed over town without producing. Just as the storm is exiting the Columbus city limits, Kent Sunderman, who is just north of town, begins to record.
So that's the storm, not the tornado, though, right?
Amazingly, just 3 miles after passing through town, the storm put down its next tornado, which is initially just an uncondensed bowl with slight ground circulation. Kent records the tornado as it makes a few unsuccessful attempts at fully condensing, when he then realizes that the storm has produced another tornado to the south.
Oh.
This satellite tornado is another relatively weak F1 and is also moving northeast. Just a few minutes later, the first tornado would try another attempt at fully condensing, and this one would prove successful.
That looks so scary because it's so huge. You can see in this cloud how this perfectly could form into a massive tornado.
Spectacularly, the tornado goes from a barely visible funnel to a large stovepipe tornado in just the matter of seconds.
Oh no, it's hitting the ground. Oh man, I hope somebody doesn't get hurt over there. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
It's on the ground.
It's on the ground. Should we call somebody?
Oh,
I don't know, because it's on the ground.
right there, I'm pretty sure, by the lake stop.
It is on the ground. Look at it turning into something big.
Wow.
The tornado continues to increase its size and strength as it tracks over rural farmland. The tornado initially moved northeast and then turned.
I wonder which one of these was his house. Maybe this one here? Could it be? And this was the field that we saw? Or would it be something further away? Probably something further away, because I'm guessing if it was near the tornado could throw stuff. Or, I don't know. Okay.
To the north, then northwest, before coming to an almost complete stop and eventually moving back off to the northeast. Meanwhile, Arlen Wilkie, who is just 3 miles to the northeast of Sunderman, also spots the approaching.
The first house was way further away. But this takes up a big area, though. That is huge. It can take up to 2 houses at a time.
Twister and begins to record as well. The tornado, which has been moving slowly and erratically, continues to grow in size to 1/4 of a mile wide.
To Arnie's and Lucy's. It looks like it's heading to Jerry Arnie's place. Lucy's, that area. Doc Rungy. There's nothing left? Nothing left of them trees. Is that the long branch?
Where are you at home?
Did it touch down?
Yes. We're standing in front of our house, in front of my house, Paul's place.
As Arlen is recording, the tornado is inflicting some of its first damage on a few farmhouses to his east.
Arlen is here at my place. Nobody's at his place. I think it's east of his place. It's right into Irma Rickard's about.
Watch your car.
Right even east of that. It's hard to tell.
Watch car. Watch Ruben's house.
They also seem extremely calm. This is something that happens regularly. I would probably have some type of heart attack, because or I don't know what I would do. I'd not be this calm, let me tell you that.
Sounds like a freight train from my house.
Tell Todd we got it on video.
We got it on video from right here. We're just about to see a house disappear, I think.
It's on the other side of Reuben. It's on the other side.
It's on the other side now. I went past Irma's house and we can still see Irma's house. So it's somewhere on the other side of Irma Rickard's house. It didn't touch it. It went north of Irma Rickard's. And it didn't touch it.
Get some people over to Lucy's and Attery. Tell Arnold. And it went right through Arnie's place and it's ow! Get that, I want that as a souvenir. Right there.
Jerry Arnie's place had to be hit, I would think.
Can you hear them like laughing it off? That looks so aggressive, and it could turn at any time towards them, and they're just like,
I don't know. It may be Long Branch.
There's a huge one down there.
Long Branch.
See that? I ain't going out there either.
While the tornado is passing to Arlen's east, it's heading directly towards Andy Ulmer, who is about 5 miles further to the northeast.
Come on, you mean nobody has to go on your radio?
Look at the swirls.
I know it.
look at the swirls.
Andy
Boy,
has just arrived home from the airport
get out of there.
and was in the process of
Did you hear that? He just came home from the airport. Go back.
Andy has just arrived home from the airport and was in the process of changing clothes when he noticed the tornado out of his window, and he also begins to record.
Look at the little one.
yeah.
The little one.
Right there. A whole bunch of little ones.
How are these people so calm? Oh, look, a bunch of little ones. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, I'm guessing you're not supposed to go into your car and start driving or something when there's a tornado, or you shouldn't go up. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do, but I would probably still get in my car. I think what you were supposed to do, if it's like close to you, was to hide in a ditch or something, but
Morning? Oh my God. I think,
What?
which way is it going? Is it coming this way?
Well, it's just sitting there.
Well, it may look like it's sitting there.
He mentions in the video that the tornado doesn't seem to be moving, which is a telltale sign that it's coming directly at you. For instance, if you look at the left edge of the tornado and use the tree line as a reference point, it's not moving left or right, which means it's coming directly at them. Meanwhile, back at Arlen's location, the tornado passed directly to his east and now has an audible roar heard on the video.
Long Branch must have destroyed it.
What'd you say, Paul?
Go get that big hailstone.
I was talking to
baseball
Jeff
size
Moody of the
one.
Long Branch, and he said everybody's okay there.
Did it hit there?
Sounded like it.
I think it's so insane that the world is able to do, like nature is able to do such things.
The tornado impacted some of his neighbors' houses down the road, but luckily they avoided a direct hit and the property sustained only moderate damage. The tornado continues on its northeast track directly towards the Ulmer residence. Even though the tornado is still a few miles away from his location, you can now hear the audible roar of the tornado on his video as well, indicating that this is likely a violent tornado.
Hope we got insurance paid up, dear. There's some damn big hail.
Hope we got some insurance paid up. How can you be so chill? I lost my train of thought there, but maybe this is just so normal there that, you know, people react like this, but it's just weird to me because if I saw this in real life, like this is obviously something so new to me and I've never seen anything like this. I just, it's odd to see how calm everyone is.
Storm's coming down.
Hi, come on, Andy. Looking good.
Woo! That is definitely.
Now?
No,
Huh?
that's their tornado blaze. shit. It ain't. See this thing.
Andy's wife Susan very understandably begins to try and convince him to put the video camera down and to seek shelter in the basement, but he can't take his eyes off of it.
This is not good.
No, it's not.
After a few more minutes of recording, Andy finally begins to realize the danger, but remembers that he was in the midst of changing clothes when he began to record. He then proceeds to utter one of the funniest and most iconic lines ever from a tornado video.
Susan, get my pants!
Once Andy puts all of his clothes back on, he obliges to his wife's request and stops recording to take shelter.
Well, I'm getting in.
However, just a minute or so later, Andy changes his mind and once again goes to the door to record again. As if the tornado could not get any more visually impressive, it begins to instantaneously change its form from a wedge to a traditional rope tornado.
Oh, Nelly.
And then, in another instance, it's gone.
Oh, went up in the clouds.
Andy once again heads downstairs to seek shelter. When Andy once again returns upstairs to record some more, he finds that the tornado has dropped once again as a rope. However, by some miracle, the tornado made an abrupt and hard turn to the west and somehow missed their farm. While Andy is recording the tornado in its final stages from right under it, Arlen and Kent are filming it from miles away to the southwest in much safer spots. Back at the Ulmer residence though, Andy records the last seconds of the tornado's life as it actually turns back to the east after passing by the farm. Eventually though, the rope finally dissipates. After this tornado lifted, the storm continued traveling northeast, and it would produce another 4 tornadoes over the course of the next 2.5 hours. I couldn't really find any other information on these additional tornadoes. In fact, information and damage pictures from the main tornado are also very scarce. Ultimately though, the main tornado was rated as an F2, with estimated wind speeds between 113 and 157 miles per hour. This tornado was almost certainly much stronger than the official ratings suggest. However, since it mainly stayed over open fields, F2 damage was the highest that surveyors found. The Columbus, Nebraska tornado of 1998 is another classic example of the limitations of tornado ratings, as this one was almost certainly stronger than the assigned rating, but luckily though for locals, it mainly stayed over open fields, causing us in all likelihood to never know how truly powerful it was.
I mean, definitely looks powerful and it looks extremely intimidating. But I'm glad that nobody got hurt during that tornado. Also, there was this part where they said like didn't cause much damage, and you can see that it still did cause quite a lot of damage. I mean, doesn't look like a small thing. But I mean, yeah, considerably small damage, I'm guessing, if you compare it to other tornadoes that have been.
The tornado impacted some of his neighbors' houses down the road, but luckily they avoided a direct hit and the property sustained only moderate
Damage. I mean, it's so crazy to think that it the wind can break off trees and lift cars and break houses. But thank you guys for joining me for this video. I know there's some people here that live in areas that have a lot of tornadoes. So let me know if you've had any experiences with them. And please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.